build relationships in the industry, invest in those relationships. Because, for example, as a founder or co-founder, you're a big portion of that is doing sales, like connecting with clients, showing them what you're offering as a company, and partnering with them. But not always will you get business immediately. That doesn't mean that you don't build or invest in that relationship. Keep understanding what their issues are, keep updating them about your progress, and more often than not they will give you business.
Meet Saurav Chawla, the co founder at OkayGo, your empathetic founder. He believes in the power of empathy. He shows empathy to the issues faced by the workers, empathy to larger businesses, and empathy to his internal team. Welcome to our series entitled The IAM Podcast, a podcast about innovation, business, and most importantly, people. In this series, we'll be talking to founders, executives, and various experts about their vision, challenges, best practices, and lessons learned throughout their journey. Let's get started. This podcast is powered by IAMOps.io. Optimize your cloud infrastructure and CI/CD process with IAMOps.io dedicated DevOps team. Check out www.iamops.io and get a DevOps team now.
Hello, everyone. Today we are joined by the co-founder at OkayGo, Saurav Chawla. Hello, Saurav.
Hi, May. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very excited for today. How about you?
Yeah, same as you. Very excited to answer some questions that you might have for me.
Great. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us for the podcast.
Absolutely, looking forward.
Well, welcome to the IAM podcast. Let's fire up this with the first question. Let's say you have 60 seconds to pitch your product. So how would you do it?
So OkayGo is a technology product which is improving the earnings per hour for blue collar workers in India. And the way we are doing it is by providing them more gig opportunities across multiple organizations. So they can open their mobile application, almost like an Uber-like application, and they can choose to work at multiple companies at the same time or during the same day. What that does is it exposes them to flexible job opportunities and also increases the earnings for them. So that in a nutshell is what the product is offering to the workers, the blue collar workers. On the business side, the businesses are able to, post their jobs in a flexible manner, hire people flexibly, reduce their costs because there's less fixed cost or fixed employees and more, people who are working on a day-to-day basis.
I'm curious, about your story. How did this idea come about? Tell us your serendipitous meeting.
Yeah. So I moved to India, moved back to India around 4 years ago. Before that, I was doing investment banking in the US.
Mm-hmm.
And when I moved back to India, the first thing that I did was set up a food business. While running that F&B business, I met this Japanese individual whose kitchen was just next door to my kitchen. And I was curious as to what that Japanese guy was doing in the middle of India. And he was running a sushi delivery business, and I was running this bakery and cafe business. So we ended up spending some time talking to each other over. I would say we interacted for about a year or 2 years, discussing our backgrounds, what are the issues that we are facing in the organizations, and then 2 years ago, we basically said that okay, we are really trying to solve the same problem. We are the same business. We are facing the same issues, uh, and we felt that so the biggest issue that we were both facing was related to staffing as well as the inflexible nature of hiring. Like we didn't have any platform where we could hire more people on the weekends where there's more crowd. So it was very vanilla model of hiring people. That too, limited companies were offering good quality, high quality blue collar workers. So that's why we decided to solve that problem together. But it just happened through chance that we met together and discussed to come to this point.
You said quality people. Okay. How do you make sure that you give high quality people?
Sure. So we have this rating mechanism on our application where after doing each gig on our platform, they're rated by the businesses or the employers. And that enables the next person who's hiring them on a gig basis to know whether this person worked well in the previous organization or not. Through that, we build a review mechanism where people who are rated better are hired, given more opportunities, are hired more, and then they have the incentive to perform better in the work that they're doing as well. By the way, this rating goes both ways. We get the workers to rate the employers as well, so it's not only one-way street.
Okay, you provide event-based, part-time, or full-time workers instantly. So how
Yeah.
short is your turnaround time?
So generally, it's 1 day.
A
We
day.
are yeah, we are trying to get it down to within a few hours, that you can book someone for the night. If you are during the day, you can book someone for the night. But right now it takes 1 day. So you have to tell us the requirements 1 day in advance, at least 1 day in advance, so that we can line up people for you the next day. And if at all there's some last minute cancellations, we'll try to find you a replacement as well.
Who is your target market? I mean, who do you offer your products to?
So right now we are focusing a lot on the logistics space. So companies like Flipkart, Zomato, which is the food delivery platform, or Swiggy, they're big clients. This is in the logistics space. But on the other hand, given the F&B business is coming back as well, during COVID times there was less demand from the F&B businesses, but now we are getting the demand from F&B businesses as well. So logistics and F&B clients are the biggest, have the biggest proportion in our client base.
Okay. So, Rob, share with us your challenges. What were your challenges?
Biggest challenge so far has been COVID. No questions.
COVID.
Yeah. So while we were building the product, we were focused more on the F&B industry, because we are from the F&B business and the event industry. We felt that F&B and event industry would be the first targets for us to give opportunities to gig workers and opportunities for the employers to hire these gig workers. But when we had the product ready, which is like around the beginning of 2020, and everything pretty much shut down at that time. So we had technology ready, we were ready to go, we had the team ready, but we have to really pivot at that time. So because COVID completely, made it very difficult for us to do anything in the F&B space. So at that time, we decided to pivot a little bit more towards the logistics space. But that is just one big hurdle that we have had to cross, but in a positive manner, that we actually would never have gotten to the logistics space so quickly that we got exposed to because of the COVID pressure that we had to perform as a business.
What did you learn from that pivot or from that time?
I think you have to take all your opportunities as a startup. It's like a survival mode. Uh, you cannot say that I have this vision, long-term vision of doing something in one industry, but that industry can be disrupted completely. Like no one could have, predicted COVID and the issues that came up because of COVID, but you have to be ready. So having that flexibility and having that, belief that, okay, even if you do something which is not something that you thought of, you will be able to pull it off because of the team that you have built or because of the technology that you have built. I think that's the biggest learning.
Be ready, be flexible.
Be ready, be flexible, do whatever it takes.
Do whatever it takes.
Do whatever it takes to be successful or at least get to the next level.
How about right now? What were your challenges?
So right now the challenges are to scale up. We have basically there is a good product market fit, which we've been able to establish. We have 2 or 3 anchor clients which keep giving us business, but the next challenge is to scale this up 10 times or 100 times. So we are aggressively not only hiring a bigger team and high quality team, but also making our technology more robust to handle that scale. So the focus is scale right now.
What's the most valuable investment you can make as a growing company?
2 things I would say. I would say that build relationships in the industry, invest in those relationships, because, for example, as a founder or co-founder, you're a big portion of that is doing sales, like connecting with clients, showing them what you're offering as a company, and partnering with them. But not always will you get business immediately. That doesn't mean that you don't build or invest in that relationship. Keep understanding what their issues are, keep updating them about your progress, and more often than not they will give you business if you build a good relationship with them, invest in that, understanding their problem, showing the empathy towards their problem. That is number one. Number two, I would say, is uh, I think the team, like building the right team, hiring the right people. As a co-founder or a founder, I think a lot of your time should go in identifying the right people. You can't do everything on your own. You have to have the first layer, second layer, third layer, who will drive the mission forward, who will drive the business forward. So you have to really make sure that the right people are coming to your team. So you invest in building your team a lot.
Do you have a mantra you tell yourself every day for you to be the best that you can be?
It is good that I what I'm doing is something that I really like. So I don't really have to push myself on a daily basis like that. But what I tell myself is to be patient every day, because you cannot every day you cannot have successes. So when the days there are days when there is no immediate success, or you wouldn't say that okay, you did something which completely had an impact on the same day. You wouldn't have those days every day. Then I think patience is a big thing that you teach yourself, that okay, it's okay. You just keep trying and successes will come. So that is what I tell myself often.
What are the best practices, as an entrepreneur? What are the important lessons you would like to share everyone listening today?
The best practices as an entrepreneur are you keep your I mean, as I mentioned, I think before as well, you be very flexible. If you
Mm-hmm.
cannot be a successful entrepreneur if you're very rigid, if you always because there's so many times that you'll have to pivot. There are so many times where you'll have to just take an opportunity as it comes. You cannot just say it's my way or the highway. So being flexible is crucial as an entrepreneur. And second thing is, you have to have a thick skin. You have to have a big heart, because there'll be so many times that you will probably fail. So you always have to get up the next day, and then begin that next day as if that this is a new day, and successes will come. There are more days that you will fail than you will succeed, but you have to be patient enough and resilient enough to wait for those successful days.
I love that. Is there a touching story that you encountered?
Yeah. Multiple stories. I remember. So I actually try to talk to the blue collar workers who are using our platform regularly, as
Mm-hmm.
much as I can. That's one of the things that I really enjoy, because that's where you get the real feedback. What is happening on the ground. Uh, During COVID, there are so many stories where people lost their jobs, and these are people who I wouldn't even qualify as blue collar workers. They're probably I would say gray collar or some white collar workers as well, who just did not have any opportunity to earn. They might be from the travel industry, they might be from the F&B industry, but those industries are so impacted by this pandemic that they just don't have any opportunity. But they have such a big heart and their self-respect to take any opportunity that comes their way and earn for their family. So that really touched me. Whereas when I talk to people who have this amazing career, who are willing to work hard in this tough situation, where they can get some work through companies like ours, and may not earn as much as they were earning before pandemic, but at least enough to support their family, as well as and when they say things like they're very thankful to us, so that really touches you, and you're really making some impact on the ground.
I like
You
that.
are helping them grow in this such a tough situation. I think anyone who's working in the blue collar space currently across the world, I think you get a lot of opportunities to support so many people. So that is really it keeps you going.
As a founder, what do you want to be known for? So, this is the last statement. Please complete. I'm Saurav, your blank founder.
I am Saurav, and I am an empathetic founder, I would say. I think having empathy towards for me, my customers are blue collar workers on the one hand, and these larger enterprises on the other hand. And you need to have empathy towards both. You have to be empathetic towards the issues faced by blue collar workers, whether it comes to earning opportunities or loans or insurance and other things that you can provide them, and a good experience and respecting them. and to the larger businesses where you would try to understand their issues and problems, and then being empathetic towards your internal team as well. You cannot only ask them to work hard all the time. You have to give them opportunities to grow. How can you grow working with me? How can you learn something new? It's great doing something that is important for me as a founder, but how do you also get opportunities to grow as a person? So being empathetic towards that is also very important.
I love it. I love it.
I was reading this book by Satya Nadella, and I think it's called Hit Refresh, when he's talking about his journey about how did he get Microsoft back to being a leader. And he talks about empathy in his book, where he talks about how being empathetic towards his team and his clients really helped him as a person. And I relate with that a lot. I mean, of course, it's like my journey is just starting as an entrepreneur and everything. But if I really think about it, I think it's all about these relationships that you have with people. If you have these empathetic relationships with people, then I think you build lasting bonds, and then you get somewhere.
Thank you very much, Saurav. If they want to say hi to you or they want to reach out to you, where can they reach you?
They can reach me on LinkedIn, Saurav Chawla, OkayGo. They'll get my profile, or they can email me at Saurav, SAURAV .CHAWLA @okaygo.in. So you could either email me or drop me a message on LinkedIn.
All right. Thank you for all your insights and stories, Saurav.
Absolutely. Great talking to you. Great experience. Thanks.
Thank you.
Make sure to check out www.imops.io if you want to know more about us. Subscribe to our podcast so you can get notified every time we post a new video. Thank you, and you have a great day.